That's what they're telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, to come for me. That's what they're telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's telling me to come forward, come for me. See, I don't know why I finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, baby, please. Cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth, just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up. Swing on me, gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend over the reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up. Swing on me, gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend over the reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what they telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, to come for me. That's what they telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It does kill it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system since Buvak left. You don't want to change from the 4-3.
Yo, what's going on, people? We're back again on the Jerry James Show with myself, and we got G in the building as always, and we got another preview for you. This time, it's a Monday night football live. We got Leeds hosting us at Ellen Road. Big up to everyone in the building. Make sure we're smashing the like upon entry. Make sure you're getting that ticket to entry. Make sure, obviously, we're subscribing as well if you're new to the channel. As we always ask as well, I don't want to have to get. I think RJ's in the building. I think we're gonna have to get RJ on the like count today. If RJ's about, if not, it's John. I see John lurking about in the chat, so he's gonna have to be on the like count. So big up to everyone in the building. Hope you've had a good weekend. G, what are you telling me, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. It's been a peaceful weekend. Watching Arsenal do what Arsenal do. You know what I mean? That's a story for another day. Obviously, I'm not trying to throw those shade. Arsenal fans, don't get onto me. But yeah, no, it's been peaceful, man. It's been peaceful. I can't even front. No Liverpool. When Liverpool don't play, man, I just feel a bit more at ease, man. I just can just chill the weekend. You know what I mean? Just I ain't gonna worry about, certain teams dropping points. Like, I don't care. Like, who cares though? It's not like we're gonna do anything. So it is what it is, my friend. What about you, though, man? How have you been?
Yeah, man, peaceful weekend. Just it's been comfy. It's been comfy. Yesterday was comfy. Not comfy. Obviously, been busy with family and stuff like that. But in football terms, it's been comfy. Haven't thought about this at all. Watched the Arsenal game today, and I've changed my mood now. I'm calling out names now, man. Egal, what did I tell you, bro? What did I tell you, Egal? What did I tell you, Egal? Egal told Egal, big up to Egal. But I told him, you don't know what it's like until you're there. I predicted them going conceding first and then having to show that resolve. West Ham coming back. And guess what? I was watching that game and I was watching a particular Englishman playing in midfield. Declan Rice.
Oh, yes. I was trying to think, do Arsenal have any English midfielders?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking him over Bellingham. I'm putting that out there.
Listen, man,
that talk's not gone away. I know that talk's not gone away yet, but I'm taking him. I'm just saying off the bat. Before we get into Leeds, I'm taking that brother over Bellingham. Paquet's a baller. Bowen as well. He's an interest one, See Bowen.
He's always one. When we was linked, when we were supposedly linked with him before, I remember big up Ashman. He used to always talk about Bowen, like, oh yeah, Bowen this, Bowen that. And I used to always say, like, don't know, man, like, them type of players, like. But then if I'd have known what I know today about Liverpool and where we're at, yeah, take Bowen, bro. Like, bring him in. Like, I reckon he'll do a better job than Jota will. Like, you know what I mean? So it's one of them funny players.
I think with Bowen as well, I think obviously they haven't had a great season, of course. But you see that form and the way you play doesn't go away. Like, he still plays the same way. those out to in runs he makes, the fact that he works hard, the fact that he pops off, he can get shots off, he gets goals against big teams a lot of the time. If I was Liverpool, I'm taking a punt on him, man. Especially if we're talking about having like a backup to Salah, someone that's going to push them. Obviously, we've got enough forwards now, so we're not even in that discussion. But I'm saying in general, like I would have liked to have had a player like that. I think he fits that English quota. You get one out the way. He's someone that will be comfortable, necessarily not starting because he knows Salah's in front of him, but knows he can push himself and work hard. He can potentially create a space for him. So yeah, I was rating what he was doing, man. But
You find it funny. You say we got bare forwards in that, yeah. But I look at our forwards and I'm like, like I won't even use Manchester City. Maybe even like other teams out there, like who have say more than one forward. I always feel like we have such a mismatch, like in terms of Nunes, where does he play? Gakpo, where does he play? Salah's really Salah and Bobby are like the only two that I'm like, okay, yeah, they play. Salah plays right, and then Bobby always plays central. Jota, where does he play? Like Diaz, another one as well, kind of thing. He plays off that left hand side, but it's like we just got bare forwards, and we just plop them on the pitch, and then obviously we see how they do and etc. etc. I find that funny though when I look at our forwards, because you'd think when you look at the forwards, you think, yeah, that's a sick attacking depth. But then I also look at it and I think something that you mentioned before is that the reality is one of them's going to ask to leave. Like obviously Bobby's leaving now, so that's 5 forwards you've got left. I don't know if like Klopp doesn't rotate, so how much game time are the bench ones going to get? That's why I look at some of these forwards. It just depends how they see things. Really, it's going to be interesting, but I do find it kind of weird with our attacking lineup and stuff like that. But that's what
in general, like if you were to get like a player, because he's not popping at the moment and he's not being talked about with England, that's someone that you can snap up really quickly.
Oh yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like he would come in as that, maybe as like that right hand side. I'm just saying for what we've got at the moment, it's so like. It's just weird, man. It's all
It's weird, man. But let me just check out the people in the chat, guys. We've got 30 people in the building. Make sure we're smashing like. We've got Ish. Happy belated to Ish. I want everyone to wish Ish
bro.
Up in NY at the moment, doing niche, just chilling. But big up to Ish. Hope you're doing well. We've got Ends in the building as well. Big up to Ends. Make sure we're heading over there, subscribing as always, checking out his preview that I just dropped a moment ago. We've got Romz in the building as well, saying big up Romz. We've got RJ. I told you, RJ. I knew he was sniffing about. RJ saying, look, since winning against Man United, we haven't won in 5 games, 5 home games left and 3 away, excluding Leeds. Is it beneficial wise to be in Europe Conference League for next season for Klopp and co? That's something we'll chop up later, so I'm going to save that. But big up to RJ. We've got Redbird in the building as well. We've got John in the building. We've got Mo Khalif, Ravi, Anfield Road End, Mr. Brooks, Liverbird, Redbird, also Statman Stubbs as well. We've got Ravi, Gary Richards. Who else we got? Yeah, we've got Honesty in the building as well, and there's a whole lot more. So big up to all you guys. Make sure we're smashing like. But look, we're going to get into the preview. And G, chat to me, man. Last time we faced Leeds, obviously, we lost that game. Sorrento Somerville scored their winner.
How about that guy?
Yeah, Somerville scored.
Fuck, forgot. Well, does he even still play like shit?
God knows, but yeah, Sorrento Somerville scored the winner. Obviously, it was Jesse Marsh in charge of the team at the moment. Now they've got Javi Garcia, who's the manager. So a lot of change has happened at obviously Leeds since. Obviously, they've brought in Weston McKennie in the January. So, but they've had a bit of a weird season. They pick up decent wins and then they go on losing runs, and then they pick up decent wins again and then go on losing runs. And currently, I think they're 17th. Actually, they're 16th, but I think they're like 3 points off, or 2 points off, 18th or something. So they're still threatening relegation. How big of a threat do you think Leeds are to LFC before we obviously get into Liverpool, man?
First things first, it's weird that they keep getting managers who cannot talk English. I find that jokes. Like they need to start just.
They've got to give the interpreter a job, bro.
The interpreters must love Leeds enough. Big man thing, because the way they keep getting managers who can't speak English. But I don't know, man. I think with Leeds, they are a weird team this season, man. I think Like you look at their team, like, it's a bit like ours. You look at the players, and you're like, individually, these players are actually kind of decent. Like I look at Leeds team, and there's a lot of good players in that team. They just haven't been able to just really gel this season. So heading into a game like this, they've got players that we need to worry about. I feel like we should have too much for them. Obviously, we'll get into predictions and all of that, but I feel like we should have a bit too much for them. But they'll make it mad uncomfortable for us tomorrow evening, kind of thing. Ellen Road as well. Monday night away game for Liverpool. Liverpool's away record is absolutely shit. I think it's only Southampton that's worse than us. I think might be another team, but I think we were 19th in the away table or something like that, and I was like, wow. So yes, it's a funny one, man. It's a funny one when I look at them. One question I wanted to ask you though, you might know a lot, way more than me in regards to the Leeds manager. What's his kind of style? I haven't really been watching him recently, so I'm not even going to gas up and say, oh yeah, they play like this, because the Leeds that we face is going to be different, I think. But in terms of Javi Garcia, if you've watched him or not, what's his kind of style like?
Do you know what it is? It's, when he was at Watford, do you remember?
Oh, it's that brother. Okay.
Do you remember he was at Watford?
Okay.
So it's the Watford one, and he's the type of like.
Okay.
Like defensive, but has some interplay, but they're quite structured and organized. They sometimes go to like a 4-5-1, a 4-4-2. That type of manager. He's not obviously going to like get the ball down and play some intense football, but they can get results. Like he's been obviously manager of like Malaga or Osasuna. He's that type of manager. It's difficult to really explain that. Obviously, he weren't at Watford for long, because there was sacking manager. I think he was there for like a season, so I know there was sacking manager left, right, and centre. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to go and tell you exactly what style of play they're playing, but they're methodical in what they do. Slow, progressive build up. That type of team. Will try obviously tactics, try to catch you in a counter. 4-5-1 in defense, 4-4-2. They'll try to break out. Yeah, I mean he's decent, man. He's decent. Yeah, big up to Mo Khalif, man. Old school manager. That's what he is. But
one of those Pellegrini types, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like Manuel Pellegrini. Like, is that type of manager? Like, but Pellegrini was just on a higher level. Do you know what I mean?
No, higher level. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would say about him. Just some like interesting facts on Leeds as well that I managed to garner. Obviously, Leeds are looking for their second ever Premier League double over Liverpool. Obviously, achieving that feat. The last time they managed to do it was in 2001 under David O'Leary. Liverpool haven't lost any of their last 5 league visits to Elland Road against Leeds, winning 3, drawing 2, since losing 4-3 in November 2000 with Mark Viduka scoring all 4 goals. If anyone's got Sky Sports, you've seen that game be played bare times with Viduka just terrorising our back line. So you've probably seen that. Leeds, which isn't great, they've shipped 10 goals in their last 3 games in April. 1 win, 2 losses, more than any other team so far this month. The Whites have just kept 5 clean sheets in their last 35 league games since recording consecutive shutouts against Watford and Crystal Palace last April. So they're conceding every single game, more or less, man. Every single game. It's weird. Liverpool are averaging 0.87 points per game away from home in the Premier League this season. 13 points in 15 away games. Their lowest in a campaign since 92-93. The Reds have scored 14 times from an expected 22 goals on the road this term, with their 0.93 away goals per game, their lowest average in the Premier League season.
Right.
Yeah, it's not been great. Obviously, Leeds is in the first half of their defeat against Crystal Palace, and obviously that's the most recent game, battered by Crystal Palace. I think Elise hat-trick in it of assists. They only had 7 shots on target. They had 7 shots on target, the most on record for the Whites in the first half of a league game since 2013-14 onwards. In the second half, however, the Whites had only just 1 shot on target. Now, with Liverpool, obviously, we're winless in the last 5 games. Never before going 6 without a win under Jurgen Klopp. Last doing so in 2015 under Brendan Rodgers. Klopp last went longer without a victory in February 2015 as what boss? Borussia Dortmund. So yeah, a lot of narratives there, man. A lot of narratives there. Yeah,
2015 was a good year, boy. Fuck it up. It's a good year, bro. Fuck it up,
why was
Brendan.
it a good year? Why was it a good year?
Because it's funny, like you had Brendan Rodgers. You went. You said 6 games, innit?
Yeah, no, Brendan Rodgers went 6 games, and Klopp also.
And Klopp also went 6 games. But then these times we asked Klopp to then come in and be the manager of the team. That's so joke. Like you couldn't write this. You couldn't write this stuff. Honestly, you can't write this stuff, bro.
He's crazy, man. But yeah, man. Looking at that game, I'm going to be honest, man. I expect nothing more than a win.
Same.
Nothing more, and I mean emphatic. I'm not talking about we scrape through. It's going to be like some form of consistency. Klopp's got to realize he knows Bellingham's not coming anymore, so I don't want any late night calls that's going to get him tired for tomorrow. I mean, I don't want you FaceTime him in Jurgen. I don't want you to, sending him love letters about how badly you need him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. It's done. It's over.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Wake up tomorrow morning and be prepared for this game, man. Be prepared for this game. Hopefully you're waking up in Leeds. Hopefully I'm not seeing you travel. Hopefully you guys are already there.
Is Liverpool far from Leeds? I don't know the geographical.
Midlands, isn't it? So it's like 2 or 3 hours. That's it. You can drive there, but it's
okay. No, I didn't know if it was like close or like that type of.
No, it's like 2 hours. Fine. But Leeds are shit, innit? Leeds are shit. Like, let's be honest, Leeds are shit. They're in a mess. I know, for example, against Crystal Palace, Ayling, their right back. I know we like to talk about Trent a lot. He lost the ball 36 times in that game.
36.
Yeah.
Raw tipped up bumper, boy. Yo, these are the kind of. The thing is, you just reeled off all of these stats and all of these things, but the man will go and lose anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the dumbest thing about Liverpool this season is. I'm sure we did the preview. For the Nottingham Forest. I know this is time ago, but for the Nottingham Forest game, and we were thinking, we did, didn't it? Yeah, and we were talking. We were like, I'm sure me, you, Romz, maybe Ish was even there as well. I'm sure we were all like, nah, we're winning this game. Like we weren't even thinking what defeat towards the Forest. They were like 18th or some shit, if not bottom at that point in time. And it's like away days. Obviously, I know that was 12-13 and all of that. I just think that these kind of games, these are the type of games that. Where for this season specifically, this is where I'm looking at Liverpool because I'm like, I don't really care what you're doing against Man United or Man City I don't actually really care because I know that you're going to turn up in those games. It's just proven. We just turn up in those games. They're big games. It's not hard for top players to turn up for those type of games. But then we saw what happened. Beat Manchester United 7-0. I went to fucking Bournemouth, bro. Bournemouth and lost 1-0. Like, are you not embarrassed? Like to wake up every day knowing that these are your results that you're seeing every week to week. This is what we're seeing. The level of inconsistency. And I think tomorrow's game, me and you are both saying we expect to win. 100%. I do expect to win, which is very rare, but I do expect us to win. But this is the type of game that will just be mad uncomfortable. Leeds will just come there, like I said, away. Ellen Road, how just onto them. We're not really playing that well. We've got this new thing that we're probably going to trial out as well, which is probably going to try and fuck up something. You know what I mean? Like something along the lines will just not really work. Or again, that's the pessimist side. Optimistically, we can flip it, win 6-0. Great performance from everybody. All the right people play well, and etc. and then go. So it's a tricky one, man. I can't even lie. I expect the win, but I do think it's going to be one of those kind of games where we're just going to be like, maybe like when we beat Villa 3-1, where it was like there were moments where you thought, holy, if Villa just had their shooting boots on, this game's already done. Liverpool winning for shit. But then we were able to kind of get over that, and then we were able to, ended up beating them 3-1 in the end, kind of thing. So it might be one of those type of games, I think.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even know anymore, man. I really don't know anymore. I don't know what team this is. I don't know what this manager's gonna do. There's so much unpredictability, but it's not from a good place. It's not like we're going into the game like, oh, we don't know. Like, is Salah gonna, is De Bruyne gonna play in this position, or is he gonna play on the left? Is Foden gonna play in centre? Like, we're not having those kind of situations. We've just got like, it's just boring, man. We're playing Leeds and we just don't know who's going to start, who's going to play. I think there's a couple of positions that are actually interesting to go and see what they're going to go and do, but we'll obviously get to that when we get to the lineup. But yeah, Leeds are a team that they flatter to deceive, but Ellen Road can get rocking on any night. And if it does, on a Monday night, floodlit, Nyonto, and we're going to get onto him, Nyonto playing on that left-hand side, if he does, or even Harrison, with Trent doing this inverted fullback.
I'm busting up because I forgot about him. I fully forgot about him. Yeah, it could get sticky tomorrow still. It could get very sticky.
It could get sticky. And I just know, we're going to try, if we try to do this outrun thing against them, they're going to beat us for that. Yeah. So we've got to try and take that game away from them. And we've got the players to even be able to do that. When I look at our players, I don't look at them like, yeah, they can do this. They can take the sting out of a game.
Oh, definitely not. It's weird. I feel like our game management, even from forget Klopp, because that guy's just when you look at the players, it's like their whole game management. I feel like we all talk about Henderson. Sorry, some people talk about Henderson and talking about his leadership skills, and I'm like, then let me see it, because I don't feel like I really see it as much. Like if we're just talking about him shouting and I can hear him, then yeah, okay, cool, he does all of that. But I'm talking about being able to get the team to understand the game management. Obviously, that's going to come from the manager as well, substitutions, all of that kind of stuff. But if you're still on the pitch as the captain, I'm expecting you to be able to understand that. Even when James Milner comes on sometimes, yeah, he'll play like all right, but I feel like he doesn't really get the script. I feel like he comes on and just does his thing. And then it's just whether that's good enough to just do whatever it is that we need to kind of do. There's no one really on the pitch like, guys, let's calm it down. Let's just keep possession for a little while. You know what I mean? We're 2-0 up. It's the last, 20 minutes of the game. They're starting to get a little bit of a foothold. He's made the substitution, so we're going to be a little bit disjointed. That's cool. Let's just keep the ball for a sec. Let's get them just feeling a bit more like, this game's running away from us. But we don't really, I don't feel like I really see that in terms of the leadership qualities that people tell me that Henderson obviously has when he's on the pitch and blah, blah, blah. And that's the bit that worries me at times in certain games. Hence the reason why I think we concede so many chances, because it's like game management within certain moments in the game. It doesn't have to even be the end. I'm talking, I don't know, man, 50th minute where it's, I don't know, maybe we're winning only 1-0, for example, but Leeds are starting to build up a lot of pressure. The crowd are starting to get onto the team. Yo, let's calm it down. We don't have to go 100 miles an hour. Trent up there playing false nine. Bro, I don't need you to do that right now. I just need you to just chill. Do your thing. And then we've got the quality in the individual players to be able to hurt them when it's needed. And I felt like we had that years ago. But when I'm watching Liverpool now, I'm just like, from like last season, I'm watching the team and I'm like, yeah, your game management is kind of shit. Like from the players, forget the manager. He's already, and then the players are, you know what I mean? They're not really doing their thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, man, it's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit of a weird one still.
Yeah, 100%. Man, 100%. Quick one as well, because I know we've been talking obviously about centre backs. Obviously in our team, they ain't been that great. Now, I promised them I'd do this, so I'm gonna show you. So, Liverpool fan, where is he? Where is he? Hopefully he's still watching. Yeah, big up to Liverpool fan FC. That's my little brother. I'm not gonna expose him. But yeah, he's an under 8. He was playing for the under 10s today.
We see you, bro. We see you, bro.
And yeah, and obviously G's seeing you, people are seeing you, and it's only right that we show that, you know what, if you get your scouting right, you can get your centre backs to play a certain way. And I know we've been complaining about Virgin Gomez, but we've got to show the little man some love, man. So big up,
come on,
Shifashi. Stay there, Harry.
God.
Stay there. Stay there.
Luca, move forward.
It's the person laughing like that's what made me bust up.
That's my other brother. That's my other brother.
You know what I mean? When your brother done that, I started busting up, bro. I was like, yeah, because I would have done the same thing.
He's done that standing next to someone's dad. that's someone's son, you know, like that, like running, and you see the centre back drop the shoulder and bit through man's legs. Yeah. Big up.
Come on, bro. Come on, like, you know what I mean? Like, Jerry's building that, you know what I mean, ball playing centre backs from early. So that by the time man gets to 16 in that, we're talking about a player who could probably even play in midfield. You know what I mean? But again, who am I to even say? Like, that's Jerry's.
No, but this is someone that started up front. This is someone that can play everywhere. He played up front, done this, done that. Do you know what I mean? And big up Trudon saying family affair like MJ, like Mary J. Blige. Big up to us.
Come on, bro.
Bruv, the laugh is funny, man. The laugh is funny. If you saw my brother's face I know the face my brother does when he does that noise as well. That's what's hilarious, man. But big up to Liverpool fan FC for that one.
Big up, man. Big up.
But yeah, go back to the game. We might as well get into the starting lineups, man. We might as well just get into starting lineups straight away. Obviously, we've got some questions as well. So, guys, please make sure you're firing your questions. We're all obviously we're starring them, saving them. So we're going to get back to them in a sec.
Hey guys, just quickly while Jerry's trying to do that, is it just me, or do they make fruit shoots so difficult to like trying to like get into? Like, I don't quite understand why it's taking me so damn long.
Hold on. You drinking fruit shoot?
Yeah, my son, like he left them here, so I was thirsty.
I'm gonna box them off. You're the worst.
I'll go grab some more. All right, sorry guys, sorry, I'll stop.
Hold on, what's going on there? Let me see if I can up it by a bit. Oh, you can't even move this across. Oh, whatever, man. Cool. We'll keep it like this. Hopefully, you guys can see this. Let us know if you can see. G, HM tell you to squeeze the top, bro. Squeeze it.
Okay. Yeah, so why wasn't anyone giving me this information from early though? Like, I don't understand why is it taking so long. Thank you, HM.
That's a prison thing. That's where. Okay,
bearing in mind, yeah. I'm 31. So how is a 3-year-old supposed to get into this, bro? Like, how this doesn't even make sense. Anyway.
I think that's the whole point. I think that's the whole point, bro.
What?
That's the whole point. That 3-year-old can't get into it.
Yeah. So how's he supposed to drink it? So I have to keep opening it for him.
No, you're supposed to pull the top up. Oh, you mean you can't pull the top up?
I couldn't pull it up. Yeah, I couldn't pull up the plastic thing at first. I'm trying to like.
I didn't even realize, bro. I didn't even realize.
So that's what I was like, right. So if I gave this to my son, yeah, how's he supposed to drink? Hey, fruit shoot, man. Do better, man. Do better. All
right, cool. Oh, cool. So obviously the squad name is Purcell FC. You never wash alone. Let's get that up.
Hey, so dumb.
Cool. Purcell FC washed. Let's get into it, man. Chat to me. Who are we putting in goal? Obviously, there's talks. I don't know if you've heard. There's Allison looks like he might be a doubt. Fucking hell, my mic. Allison looks like he might be a doubt. Kanate looks like he might be a doubt as well. Apparently, picked up a knock in training. That's according to Klopp's press conference on Friday.
Oh, hey, swear. Yo, all right. You know what? For now, I'll put Ali in goal. Unless something changes, like tomorrow, if I see it like right tomorrow, yeah, Ali's not playing, then yeah, Keller obviously. But I'll go Ali just for the sake of it for now.
Cool. Now, what are we saying, bro? Are you changing the form? Is Klopp going with 3 at the back?
Bro, there's no 3. Big up ends, by the way. I was in the chat at the preview, and obviously they done it like 3-2-4-1. I think 3-2-4-1. And in my mind, I was thinking, I see what they did there. I get it, kind of thing. And obviously, we've been screaming. Me, you, Romz, ends, like bare people. We've all been screaming. Yo, we want Klopp to change the thing. I don't feel like he changed the tactic though. I just feel like Trent had a completely different role than what we were accustomed to. But I felt like everything else was kind of the same. I don't really like, although we saw the average positions of the players, I was also seeing Jota at centre back. So it's like, I don't know, like, was that part of the plan? Like, I don't really get it, but I think it's going to be 4-3-3, but he might just get Trent to just do a bit of a different role, maybe have one of the midfielders potentially pushed up a little more, but I think because of Thiago coming back, Klopp's a very, very basic man. He will go back to 4-3-3, and we know the team probably inside out, man.
Yeah. I agree. Let's just start right back. Trent's obviously going to play.
Yes, sir.
We're probably going to try that same technique again. right centre back, Konate. I think that's a given, right?
Yeah. If he's fit, yeah. If he's fit, I think the back five picks itself. Really, you try to put VVD.
Yeah. And then Robertson.
Robert, you know what? You know what though? With the way that Robert's been playing, obviously is Luke Ayling. He's going to be on the right hand side. Yeah, he'll be on the right hand side. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to think. Maybe this is just a question. I'm not saying do it, but would you maybe potentially think about Tsimikas in that position? Potentially, just because if Ayling's going to try and bomb forward, if that's going to be his game tomorrow, then we're going to have that potential space in behind there where we might need more of the precision of a Tsimikas to kind of put the balls in the box for whoever plays up front, kind of thing. Or you just stick with Robert again.
No.
It's just
Yeah, no, the way is if we were playing like the standard, if we played the standard way that we've played like throughout Klopp's tenure, so with the fullbacks bombing on, the two sitting, Fabinho just sitting in front of them as well, and obviously playing the ball like that, then I think Tsimikas actually has a space to go and play. If we're going to go and try and do what we did before, I don't see us playing Tsimikas because if I was a manager, I'd want that back four to get really accustomed to playing that way and knowing the angles, where to pass, where to position themselves. I think it was just chucked together. Like I've said it before, when Trent played there, I think it was just, oh yeah, when we played against City and we tried to press them, Stones went into midfield and Jota didn't know what to do. Oh, let's do that against Arsenal. So when Martinelli presses him, Martinelli won't know what to do because you're going to be vacating the wide position. And I think we just did it, but it didn't work that well. So I think we're probably going to continue to do that again because otherwise, why would you do it in that first game against Arsenal as well? And I think if we do, then I think Robertson plays because I think he'd make up part of that back three when we're in possession. I don't think he'll bomb forward as much. If they give Trent that license to bomb forward, I don't think Robertson bombs forward.
So cool. So obviously, because we're on the defense, when we're looking at, so you just spoke about Manchester City, right?
Yeah.
When City do it, I don't even feel like it's even a Stones drops into midfield. I actually feel like it's more Stones drops into defense. Like he starts off in midfield, but they've already they start off the game with three at the back. Like we're starting off the game with four at the back. Like
but they start off the game with three at the back because what they want is they put Stones in. Like, let me see if I can do it. So they'll put Stones in here, right?
Yeah.
They'll put Stones in here, and they'll start off like that because it means because it means that when the ball gets popped in, or if they don't lose, they want angles ready to go and pass out of. And these man, and obviously the wide players, whoever, like that's just D in it. Who's there? Come on, man. Is there no player with? Come on, man. Raw. Cool. As an example, yeah. Them man are wide already. Do you get it? So if they're starting with the ball, they man start wide. They man start like this. So when the ball gets popped in, remember they're close, so they're already passed to each other. When the ball gets popped in, or if they don't start, and it's like it goes back to their keeper, and we do that often. We pump the ball forward so we can go and start playing in the opposition half. They can already win their set pieces because they're congested in the midfield.
I get you.
As opposed to having Stones out here, the ball's never coming to him. So if it's like that, everyone shifts across. Even if it goes into a corner, everyone shifts across like that. Do you get it? Like he'd come across here, everyone, so they can win the set piece. So I think he does, because when I was watching him, like it was ridiculous. He was essentially like Rodri was able to advance more because of the way he was playing. Like when he came into the field, he was able to go and kind of dictate pass. He was able to go and say, all right, the ball's going out wide this time. I'm going to pop it into feet. Of course, sometimes he might be in a position where it's like, you know what, I've got to pull out into that space to get on the ball on the like kind of at right back or at centre back or in defence. But that's the same thing a Rodri or a Mascherano or a Busquets or even Fabinho does when he comes out wide to get the ball because he's just showing for the ball. But I think the movement meant that he in possession, he did come into midfield. he did come to midfield. Obviously, his responsibility wouldn't be defending out wide. He just slot back into centre back because he's got that awareness to do that. Him and Rodri could obviously alternate. Obviously, with us, Trent, we spoke about before, was doing this. He was starting here and then having to cover this. And all that happens is that Martinelli will cut in and just cross the ball. Konate's over here because he's pressed the ball first, and Van Dijk's here. Remember, Gabriel scored in between them. Do you remember?
Yeah, right. You're right.
That's the type.
So obviously, we're looking at the tactics for the game, and that when you're looking at Trent, it's going to be Trent. We know it's going to be Trent. It's not going to be Robbo slotting into midfield. So when we're looking at Trent, what's then, would I say, the job of? I don't know if we need to put in the midfielders yet, but what's then the job of, say, the Konates and the Van Dijks and the Robbos in terms of if Trent is realistically going to slot in, how does that then change Robbo's role moving forward, kind of thing?
So Robbo, this is where they fucked up, in my opinion, because Robbo, we'll get into it. Well, let me just put the
Sorry, let's do the team.
So I assume Fabinho plays, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Fabinho starts. On the right, who you playing, bro?
Of the midfield three? I think he'll go with Hendo. It's either Hendo or Elliot, but I feel like... Who'd you go with?
I'll name you my three. People criticize me on Jamie Phillips because I've done this on Friday as well. I'm going Jones and Henderson. I'm going with the same midfield. Because Hendo's role.
Oh, so no Thiago.
No Thiago for me. No.
Wow.
Because Jones has been our best midfielder in the last games. He was vital in getting the equaliser for Salah, or the goal, not the equaliser, but the first goal against Arsenal. Obviously, he isolated. Who played right back? Ben White, and then flicked the ball for Robbo, who inadvertently crossed the ball. And it ended up obviously in the back of the goal, like via Henderson. But still, he's the one who created that chance. It wasn't anyone else. He created that. In terms of keeping the ball, he's the only one right now that's keeping the ball efficiently. He's been good. And it's like, for me, right now in this season, if you're going to want to sell him in the summer, or if you want him to get a loan, or if you're going to keep him, you need to play him now because you need to get experience and get really, really good where you can kind of rely on him and know, cool, he's a midfielder that we can trust in the summer, regardless of what anyone thinks. I'm not saying I think that either. Or you want him to up his value, but then you need to play him so you can go and have his best kind of run as best as he can right now, so that there's options for him in the summer. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're in a situation where no one wants to grab him, then you just got the same situation with like that we've had with a few players, like a few of these loanies. Like no one wants to really want to grab them. He doesn't want to go to this team. He ends up going to some dead loan, and then the dead loan doesn't materialize. It goes on another loan, and he just disappears, and then you lose out. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you could sell him for like a decent price. You could even sell him for 20 million. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'd play him. Look, Thiago's good. Thiago's great.
I just feel like I have this weird feeling like Klopp's just going to revert. I feel like he's just going to go Thiago, like Fabinho, Thiago, Hendo. I just feel like that is just going to be the midfield three. But I definitely agree with the Fabinho and the Henderson. It's just really, put Jones in there.
I think the fact that he played, the fact that he started the Arsenal game and the Chelsea game, bear in mind, the Chelsea game, he wasn't in the squad in the game before.
Yeah, true.
At all. He came into the Chelsea game, he started that one. He then started the Arsenal game, had two better games as well. He was the best midfielder in both of those games. I just don't see why Klopp would drop him again. But you might be right. But why didn't Thiago start against Arsenal then?
I hear it. I think, but bro, we know Klopp. Like I said, Klopp is. I'm trying to just keep it like Sunday evening. Holy day and that. Klopp is Klopp in it, like like Klopp's that type of guy. Like he will just revert. We've seen it so many times. We've changed up maybe the way that we've potentially set up in certain phases of play before, and then when everyone like kind of come back, he just throws everyone back in, and you're just like, well, what was even the point of trying to do what you was doing before? When, as you rightly said, as much as we all cussed Curtis Jones, I guess we probably all would. The majority probably want to sell the guy, but he's been our best midfielder these last two games. And you're right, bro. If we're gonna sell the guy, loan him, whatever the hell we're gonna do, bro, play the guy. Like he's just sitting there doing nothing. Like just play the guy, see what he's about. if genuinely he plays the next 5 games and he stinks it up, all right, cool, sell the guy. But at least you're selling him with that knowledge of, all right, well, we did try. You weren't even popping. Even during our shit season, you're still not popping. Cool, let's just get rid of the guy kind of thing. Like, then we could do that with that in our hearts, knowing that we've done everything potentially that we needed to do. But no, I agree. I don't mind that midfield three, to be honest. We're against Leeds. Like, if we can't beat them with this midfield three, then we're shit.
Now forwards, man. Obviously, we're gonna chop about like the different roles when Trent comes in. I think that's important. But who you going with the forward line, man?
Again, I think he's gonna go with
Salah, of course.
Yeah. That's the given. That's a given. I think he's gonna go with Nunes and Bobby.
Oh, I thought the same thing. Why are you dropping Gakpo?
You know, so bad. I don't really even have a reason to drop the guy. Like, I don't like him. Yeah, no. The thing is, I don't mind Gakpo. The thing is, when it comes to Gakpo, I'm like, yeah, he's all right. Like he's like a bench guy. Like he's the type of guy that, yeah, bring him off the bench. He will come and do a job for me. As I said, I just have this feeling with Klopp when everyone comes back fit, he's just that type of guy. Although Nunes, you know, in my opinion, recently has been kind of shit. Not shit. That's a strong word. He's been kind of dead. He's been a little bit off form. He looks tired all the time. Like he ain't really lost in these games, kind of thing. Yeah, he might look a little bit threatening, but he ain't lost in the games, man. He's just gassing every time. Like, and I'm just like, bro, like you just look like you're super tired. I don't really get it. And obviously Diaz isn't, in my opinion, isn't ready to start games. I wouldn't want him to start a game at this present moment in time. I feel like he'll go with that front three and then have the option of bringing on a Gakpo, a Diaz, and whoever, Jota. I feel like he would want to have those 3 type of players on the bench at the bare minimum to be able to potentially change a game. Or even if he wants to keep it relatively the same, Bobby for Gakpo, easy sub. Diaz for Nunes, easy sub. Yeah, I mean, then it's just the right-hand side with Salah that we know he's never going to take him off. So I feel like that might be his thinking potentially. Or am I giving Klopp too much credit? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, I think, do you know what it is? I think Gakpo, when I think of the Arsenal game, he was dead, man. He was washed.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of dry. Yeah, he was.
He was washed. And just to like reiterate that, Ram, big up to Ram. The reason why we're called Personal FC is because we're washed as a team, man. We're rubbish. We're washed. When you're washed, Personal, Ariel, Surf, Daz, any one of them, bro. Any one of them. Just pack that powder. That big box of powder.
Into the compartment at the top. You're good, bro. Trust.
Green wash. Any type of wash, bro. Any wash that you like, man. Any wash. That's us, man. But yeah. It is. I'm looking at Gakpo, and as I was saying, he was dead in that game. He was dead. He didn't really do anything. Didn't do anything at all. In the Chelsea game as well, I don't think he did anything. And obviously Bobby came on, and you can see the difference. I think he was really, really good. Obviously scored the goal as well in terms of just his ability, just the neat kind of 1-2 touches to play, intelligence as well. But there's actually an interesting kind of point that I thought when I was talking about this on Jamie Phillips' stream. I would play Bobby, but a bit of me says just chuck Gakpo in there because Bobby's not here next season.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, so we might as well get him embedded into what we're trying to do as much as possible because he's the one for the future, like near future, as opposed to playing Bobby. Even if you win the game, there's no benefit of it really. We're not trying to get top 4 and stuff. This is just for pride now, in my opinion. Like, and whether Gakpo plays or not, I think we should still be trying to aim to win anyway. I don't think Bobby's at the deciding factor. He's not like the difference between playing Salah or not. I think he's just good player. But that's it.
No, like, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. That's the reason why when you said drop Gakpo, I was like, I don't really have a reason to drop him. I just don't know what Klopp's angle is in these games. Like, look, we ain't getting top 4. Let's just kill that kind of dream unless something crazy happens. But I feel like, as Jerry said, we're just playing for pride. So, in my opinion, just play one that you want to kind of build a team around for next season. So, it would be Gakpo would come in for Firmino kind of thing. And I know a lot of people talk about this Darwin Núñez, obviously on the left-hand side and stuff like that. we signed him as a striker and blah 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 and all of this, all of this kind of stuff. And Diaz obviously coming back. What happens with him? We don't know what Diaz is going to be like. That's my thing. I know a lot of people are gassed on Diaz. I'm not really that gassed on him like that. I don't really. Yeah, I feel like for me, when I look at a Klopp team, anyway, not in terms of the player, I think Diaz is a better player. When I think of a Klopp team, I would prefer to have a Darwin Núñez on the left than a Luis Diaz, because Diaz doesn't play Klopp's way. Diaz has got his own type of way that he plays, whereas Núñez on that left-hand side is a lot more effective because of what he does for the team on that left-hand side. Kind of, it's as close as you can possibly get to a Sadio Mane, whereas Diaz is total opposite. This guy just does whatever he does and does whatever, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. And I just think that when I'm looking at a Klopp team, that's why I feel like Darwin Núñez needs to probably stay on that left-hand side, which is funny because we signed him as a striker, but we have no clinical strikers in this team. So it doesn't probably even really matter who goes up front. I mean, someone's probably bound to score at some stage in time. And then maybe Gakpo could potentially come in. Potentially. Yeah. I'd agree. So I think we keep it like that. And your question, G, was obviously Trent's role and how it changes everything, innit? Yes.
So what I understand, from just doing some of that research stuff, right? So in possession, but when we're very, very deep. So let's say Alisson's got the ball. The game looks something like this.
Just before, as you're doing that, one thing I remember Klopp saying, I don't know if let me take that back. I can't remember if he mentioned it or it was mentioned. Hendo wasn't really covering on that right-hand side anyway.
Nah. That's what I'm saying. He's not covering. But there's a reason why, like I said, I'm playing him here. There's a difference to where Robertson is and where Hendo is. So, but what happens? Trent obviously comes in when Alisson's got the ball if it's a goal kick.
Sorry for cutting you again, brother. Are you happy to be this comfortable with two men at the back like this? I just feel like it's just not safe. Like,
I hear you. But you would do this like Tiki Taka done this anyway.
Yeah, I hear it. Like, but remember, you're talking about Tiki Taka with a bunch of.
You'd have the two centre backs to split, but the difference is you'd have Robertson here, or you'd have Dani Alves here. Do you get it? And
but remember,
coming to get the ball in these gaps.
But remember, we're talking about. I agree, 100%. They were blatantly the first team I saw doing that kind of split. But remember, outside of Van Dijk, Bobby, Jones,
that's it.
Yeah, I feel like they're the only ones who I'll be like, yeah, they're mad comfortable. Like when they got the ball and that, blah blah blah, they can pass, they can pop it, they got boom 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 boom. Whereas that Barcelona team, obviously because of that's how they were, that was their style of play, and they were drilled from La Masia days kind of thing. So that was just the style of play there. But everybody knew how to be comfortable on the ball. Everybody understood the assignment. So you're right, because it's true. You got Puyol on one side, PK on the other side, and they would split, but then PK can dribble. Puyol wasn't that good at dribbling, but he was comfortable on the ball enough.
He was comfortable passing, though.
Yeah. He just didn't get it that much, but because PK was probably the Van Dijk in terms of, all right, I'm going to give you the ball, you play the pass, you do the dribbling type of thing.
Even after that, though, it was Mascherano. Even after that, it was Mascherano.
Again,
it was actually
another player.
Yeah, which is a midfielder playing there anyway. So, yeah, 100%. I agree. I'm looking at that, and I know we haven't got the players to do this, but this is what we try to do. Hence why I say this move is very reactionary for me. We haven't really got the players to do this. You had, a week to go and train this? Was it less than a week?
Less than a week, probably.
I think it was less than a week. So we actually had less than a week to go and kind of get this into the players, and we just tried to do it against Arsenal, and I don't think it worked. And this is one of the reasons why. But so obviously in possession, when Alisson's got the ball and we're really deep, it's like this. So what you have is Alisson's got options. Van Dijk here, Fabinho, and obviously Trent will obviously alternate, trying to try and get the ball. And as you can see, Robertson's really, really wide, and Henderson, he's not coming wide here either. What he's doing, Salah makes this run. So that's when we're really deep. Let's just move it forward, right? Because obviously, even here, Konate tries to go long, or Trent gets the ball and he knocks it around the corner into Salah. So that's what you do. He knocks the ball into this direction here. When we're further forward, it's a very similar thing. Let me just move that up. And we've tried to do what City do in a way, which is mad when you think about it.
Because it's mad, bro. Like, why don't you keep copying? Do your own thing, bro.
Yeah. Move everyone up so you guys can see it. But this is obviously what happens when we're in possession. So this is what happens with Robbo. You're asking what happens to Robbo's role. So Robbo starts really high when Alice has got the ball. But as soon as we've got the ball and at the halfway line, or we're really, really advanced, obviously I can't do it because the pitch is, I've enlarged the images and the pitch is quite small. But let's say this is the halfway line. Robertson actually acts like that Ake role. He's at that left-sided centre-back. You've got Van Dijk, who's in the centre, and you've got Konate, who's out on the right. Fabinho and Trent are still in that same position. And then you've got Hendo here and you've got Jones here. Jones often didn't make the run into these gaps here, or didn't start off here and pull off. A lot of the time, he'd be around here and he might drop off here and he'd try to get the ball, but he's more of the kind of just keeping the ball, just ticking it over. Can we keep possession, right? Linking up with Fabinho, Robertson. Sometimes Robertson would bomb forward, and Robertson kind of gets forward. Just naturally, he'd kind of cover like that and just stay in that position. And obviously, Van Dijk would watch in that role. But a lot of the time, what you want from Robertson, essentially, for doing this, is to him to be like flexible, but he's not bombing forward the way he used to. Like,
because Ake don't bomb forward like that.
Yeah. So if he's doing that, he's not bombing forward like that. It takes away from his game then, because that's Robbo's game. Like, Robbo's not no pass master, like Aspilicueta type of right centre back, right back. He's all about high energy going up and down. So, like I said, I don't get it, but hey, this is what we've tried to do. With Trent, this is probably when he does that. When Trent leaves this position, like our team always gets the ball in these areas. So a lot of the time, this Henderson role would have been Elliott, it's been Henderson, it's been whoever. We've always spoke about, obviously, Salah. And that link up has been proper dominant. When Trent comes into this position, who ends up getting the ball in these positions when we got the ball? It's Konate. And now we're asking Konate to have more touches on the ball, to have the ability to go and find Salah direct, like into his feet, to find Hendo into his feet, to find Trent, or even play that diag into Nunes. Now, for me, he's good, but he hasn't got the ability to do that. That's not his forte. Like, he's not that type of centre-back. So we're now in trouble. And I think against Arsenal, we were losing a lot of the ball because he was getting on the ball and they were allowing him to have the ball. All they did, Martinelli followed Trent around into the centre of the pitch, allowed this space, and he kept trying to find Salah direct. He just weren't working because he was getting eaten up by Gabriel. Gabriel was right behind him. Obviously, what happens here, that's obviously one of the issues, but this is what you want essentially from a centre-back, to be able to go and play those passes. What Henderson was doing was really, really interesting. He wasn't covering that space like he did before, like we did in the 4-3-3. He was actually more advanced. He was making runs into these positions because what would happen is Salah would try to draw Gabriel on him to create that space. So
he's doing what you want Curtis Jones to do effectively.
Yeah, well, Well, Henderson, no. Well, Curtis Jones wasn't doing. You'd want Curtis Jones doing that role essentially because
that's what I mean. Yeah.
But because Henderson, the whole point is that he's not going to go and get the ball because we haven't got the players to go and find him in those places. I know a couple of times he was found, but what happened is that we'd go and he'd go and do this, and Henderson would make that run in there, so it would end up essentially being something like this when we're attacking. Because Henderson is obviously making that run there. Sometimes Henderson would do the opposite ways. If they clock, Henderson would come short for the ball and Salah would make that run out to in. So that would happen also. But a lot of the time, it was Henderson making that run, that third run into midfield, and it would end up something like this. It would end up something like that on the edge of the box when you have Trent here, you got Konate, obviously everyone pushing up, and that's how it would look. And that's how it would look. So it looks disjointed, but everyone's roles change. Henderson's role isn't the same. He's more of a runner. He's there to make the options as a runner. And I actually think he done a good job when you look back at it. for what he was asked to do, he done a really, really good job. Obviously, it's still Henderson. He didn't like do no Cruyff term and stuff, but you could see he was involved in play. I think he got the assist for Salah's goal, even if that was a shot. He got the assist for Salah's goal, and he was involved. He was involved in the second goal also. So, yeah.
This is my thing though, and this is why I always get onto Jurgen, because even when you're looking at all of this now, Robbo's side always seems to be okay. Like, forget even Van Dijk even being there, put anyone else in there. It always seems like when I look at that side of the pitch, I feel a lot more defensively sound, so to speak. But every time I look on that right-hand side, as you said, rightfully so, obviously you've got like how you've got it set up now when we're obviously further up the pitch and the way, say like Salah is, let's say Salah and Henderson swapped, even if it doesn't really even matter. But you've got Trent there, you've got Van Dijk there, blah, blah, blah. Every time I look on that right-hand side, I just always feel like, bro, like this is why we get exposed. I get it, because I guess you're trying to potentially overload in one area of the pitch to have your Henderson making that forward run. Salah's still there, Bobby's still there, Nunes, like you're still trying to make that area of the pitch a bit more congested. So cool, you can do whatever it is you're trying to do when you get there. But then defensively, it then always leaves us in a pickle. But this is why I say with Trent's role, that's why I remember when me and you were talking in the chat and you were like, yeah, Trent's playing like more DM. And I was like, brother, but then this guy's still running back, playing right back. So I don't even understand. Does he know what he's doing? Because it seems like Klopp, you're asking him now to do too many different things now. I get why you want to put him into the center of the pitch, because you feel that either way, when he's on that right-hand side, he's coming into the middle of the park anyway. But it's, again, a different game when you're asking man to start there potentially and then drop back into that right-back slot to then try and help out defensively, because then you're still then asking him, if the role, forget like him doing it on his own, because before I felt like he was more doing on his own accord and the team would adjust to it. If you're actually telling him, yo, you're playing right back, but most of your game is going to be kind of played in the center. But when we lose the ball, I do need you to drop back into that right back position. I get it, but I feel like you're adding too many layers to Trent.
This is where the problem is. Like when you're talking about the layers, what you'd want him to do when we're defending, this is what happens, right? Konate, if the ball comes out wide, Konate becomes the right back.
Yes.
He becomes the right side, the centre back, and Trent's got time to tuck in here.
Yeah.
And that's
what Trent's not really doing that though. He didn't do that in the
Trent's
last.
Not going to do that because he's the worst defender on the damn pitch.
Yeah, I know.
When he's the worst defender in the damn pitch, Klopp can't have him here. He'd get beaten in the air. He'll be all over the place. He'll be playing man on side. Like, you can't have that. So what happens is that Klopp says, Van Dijk, you're going to have to go and control this. Trent, you're going to have to bomb over here. But then what happens is that we get overloaded.
Overloaded.
Van Dijk can't run across as well, because if he does, Robbo's got to, and then you're leaving the back exposed. So you've got Robbo who's over here, who's trying to marshal it, but he's a bit central. You've got Van Dijk who's like if I move here, there's a gap here, but if I stay here, there's a gap in between me and Trent and Konate, because Konate's rushed down. He does that all the time. Then you got Fabinho, who's like, look, cool. If they stay there, maybe I should come across as well. But if I come across, I'm leaving the center of the pitch. And Henderson's up here. So this is what happens. This is what ends up happening. And then you've got Jones just by himself in the center, everyone trying to run back, and you end up with something like this, where there's just gaps. There's just gaps everywhere. Like, he's not close to his midfield, because if he's close to his midfield, he leaves it overexposed. Van Dijk can't go anywhere. Robertson can't go. You know, Nunes ain't doing no like hard tracking back.
You know, like that.
Salah, and you get Bobby maybe dropping in like that, like breaking a neck. It ends up something like this at the end of it. This is where it ends up. It ends up with something like that.
Yeah.
In the game. So it's like
and
breaking a neck, but this is where it ends up like, and it looks all disjointed.
And you just said it there. When it comes to like Konate, good, very, very good defender in that. But with him, he's so rash, man. Like, he's always trying to like he's always trying to get the ball. And I get it. Again, obviously we do try to play on that front foot. I totally get it. But he doesn't always win that challenge. So he's either fouling, meaning he's putting himself at risk, potentially get yellow cards and stuff like that, or he misses it, or it gets beaten, or it goes part. Like, there's too many ifs and buts. So then when Konate loses it, as you said, if Trent can't make that breakneck run back to right back, and I think you kind of saw it with Manchester City, not Manchester City, against
Arsenal. When the ball got played into Martinelli,
yeah,
Konate is rushing out to the ball. So is Trent. What does he do? The ball comes, he takes the first touch outwards, uses Trent's momentum. Trent's now out of the picture, so is Konate. And he just whips it in first time. And where's the gap? Van Dijk in the end is like, he's like here, and Robert's like there, and the goal comes in between them.
In between them, yeah, it's true. And it was such a simple goal. Like, it wasn't like he had Jesus didn't have to do much to score it. Like, he just stood in a position where he was like, bro, I got bare space in front of me, bare space behind me. This is the only gap. As long as Martinelli can find me, which all he needs to do is make sure get the ball over Virgil's head, which clearly was easy enough for him to do. And as you said, they're able to score. And this is what I'm saying about the gaps. This is what I'm saying. This is why I don't like the way that Klopp implements it. I feel like it could be a good tactic, but the way that he implements it, it's just all wrong, man.
But guess what? I agree. It's not only the fact that he implements it though, because like, come on, this is Klopp trying to do something that he's not. This is what I don't understand. We've bought players that don't suit our system. You're talking about, like you said, even like a Jones, he don't really suit our system. Elliot don't suit our system. Cavallo don't suit our system. Like all these players, even Nunes, he doesn't suit our system. All these players, they don't. And Nunes at City wouldn't be on 32 goals. He might be on 25 though. He might be on 22 goals. He might do, because he's going to get loads of chances. He's not asking him to drop deep to do this. It's just stay in that pocket, use your pace when you can, and make those runs. And we're going to find you every time. And that's the difference. So yeah, like we're just, and obviously it's not only that. Our players just we ain't got the players to do it either. It's the way Klopp influence the tactic. But even if like Pep came, he'd look at these players and be like, what am I supposed to do with like a, let's be honest, with like a Henderson in that position? Like Konate, like, you know, I understand Konate is great. I love Konate. Like Konate has been our best centre-back probably this season since he came from India, 100%. But he's not a Pep type of centre-back. Which means that when you're in a back three, and let's advance all these brothers again. When you're in a back three, you're gonna need him. You're gonna need him to get on the ball, come wide, get the ball, pop it off. He get a 1-2.
He just looks a joke when he's on the ball. I'm like, brother, you can tell that you were definitely never. You was always a defender. Like, if you ever told me you was a striker as a kid, I was like, nah, you're gassing.
And if he was, you know what type of striker he was, man. PMP.
Yeah, come on, bro. PMP, bro. Like, what else is he gonna be up front?
Brute, you know that spray that you have, Brute, that man spray. That's what it is, man. Just Brute.
That's all it is, bro. But now you're go on. Go on. No. All I was gonna say is that this is what I say with this whole. This is why when you had it like. I think there was a point where you had it. Robbo was obviously pushed up, and then you had obviously the two centre backs, which was split with like Virgil. Obviously, thing. That's why I was like, bro, they're two very good centre backs. As in, if I ask them to do the defending side of things, calm. But when I look at it defensively, at times, I'm just like, Konate, not really my kind of guy on the ball. Like, I'm not picking him in a team. If I need a good defender on the ball, able to pass it around, tactically aware, football IQ on point, I don't really look at Konate like that. Konate is, got back four. There's a fast striker. There you go, Konate. You stick on him. You're strong. You're quick. You can get there. No problem. Boom. You can deal with all of that. But ask man to start playing ball.
And this is the thing with Konate as well, man, is that he runs.
Good defender.
But if he gets beaten, he does this. And big up to Romz, he goes, like, you know, he does that with his arm.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, it's just like panic, bro. It's just panic. Like, brother, like I'm saying, it's and this is what it is. It's Konate, what you're going to require from him if he's a right centre back, and it's what you're going to require from him is to be able to go 1, 2, and pop it off. Sorry, move and pop it off and get into these positions.
Yeah,
like the same way Ivanovic did, the same way Aspilicueta did. The same way Flipping, who plays at a free at the back. You have like Fofana.
Even Reece James, he's done the free at the back. I know he's been playing poorly, but the type of player.
Reece James, he's done the free at the back. You've seen Ake even. Ake does the 1-2 and gets onto it in those forward lines. You need someone now that's going to understand those types of stuff. And I don't know if you've got the personnel to do this. And that's why it's not going to work to that effect. But then Klopp, that's not Klopp's forte. That's like asking like Pep Guardiola to play like a 4-4-2 with Stoke flick-ons, and he's not gonna. There's a science to it as well, and it can work. Like it can work. Like you saw when Carroll was a threat at Newcastle, it worked, bro. It worked. If you get it right, it works. It's not about that. It's can you go and implement it? Do you know the minerals and the techniques and the tactics that it takes to implement it? Klopp, that's not part of his DNA. So when you're asking him to do this, it just doesn't work. What you see is that Konate tries to be bare direct, just find man into like 5-man first time. You see Virgil just Virgil spraying that long pass. He wouldn't be doing that all the time at City. He wouldn't. He does that at Liverpool. I know he's got the ability to do more, but he just does that at Liverpool. And even now, the problem we've got is that and I see it with Virg, when we play the 3 at the back and we do this, he can't even pass because he's trying to get that angle. He's not someone as well that left foot, right foot, he's spraying passes like a quarterback. Do you know what I mean? Like from this position when we're in possession. So if we go proper high up, let's just go here. Let's just imagine.
Trying to see his stats actually from the last game, to be fair.
Yeah, let's say imagine we're mad high up. We're mad high up in this situation, right? It's just up them, up them, up them, up them. And he's here, right? You got Robbo there, that's an angle, and you got Trent as an angle. And he's here, right? Sorry, Konate as an angle. When he's here, he's not there like Mascherano, even spreading passes this way, or progressive. He's very like, I'm gonna sit back and allow you man to do your thing. But then when he's not at this angle, he can't spray that pass into Salah.
It's true.
He's not at the angle. So what he starts to do, pops it off to Fabinho, or pops it off to Van or Trent, and then Trent gets it. But then Trent's having to go and find his man. And Trent on the half turn, we haven't seen enough of it yet to go and say whether he's good at it or not. So it becomes a bit.
That sounds like that definitely sounds like something that I don't see too influential. But I was just looking at his stat whilst he was getting that up. I was just trying to look at his stats from the last game. He attempted 6 long balls in the game, but only got 1 on target in terms of like long balls. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. Still, like because when it does come to it, you can see it. That's why if we did, this is why I laugh when people talk about when I did a video on Vardy, but bare people speak about Vardy. Oh, he'd be sick. Come to Liverpool, and obviously we talk about playing 3 at the back. But then sometimes when I sit down and deep it, I'm like, where would you play everybody? Because as you said, like Virgil would probably have to play like as the left-sided centre-back almost, because as you said, the way he plays the game, he needs to be more on that side of the pitch to do what he likes to do. If not, as you said, it becomes a case of, all right, Konate, Robbo, everyone else in the team, I just need you to do your thing, and I'm just going to, do this, that, and the third. Maybe every now and again, I might be able to play a long ball here and there, but we're seeing the accuracy, 6 long balls and only 1 on target. Clearly, clearly in that game, your long balls are shit. Like they were absolutely dog shit. If you only get 1 on target out of the 6 that you're making, kind of thing. So then I'm thinking maybe that's not something that you're going to be able to do again moving forward, kind of thing. And that's got nothing to do with the midfield or attack. That's just him in terms of the positions that he's taking up. So yeah, it's going to be a funny one, man. Funny one indeed.
It's going to be interesting. Like when you go and think of like the progressive players, right, in a Man City back 3, right? Ruben Diaz is a centre. When did Ruben Diaz ever go and do mad passes, that? He doesn't. He just sits.
It's simple.
He just sits and organizes and keeps it simple and defends. You got Ake that does that, and you got Stones that does that. That's it. That's it. Or Akanji that does that. Even Akanji is a bit more defensive, but you've got Ake on that side that gets forward and stuff, and then you've got Stones who's coming in as well. So, but obviously they're a different team. They're a different team, so it's not going to ever look the same. But yeah, people, that's obviously our predicted lineup for the game. Let us know what you think of that. We're going to get into some of the comments now as well before we get into score predictions. Let me just get rid of this. Cool. Guys, make sure we're smashing the like. We'll start the comments, man. We'll start with some of them about in regards to we'll start up now. We got RJ saying, look, is it beneficial footballing wise to be in the Europa or conference or just the league next season for Klopp and co? The latter for me.
Yeah, probably the latter. I think Liverpool are back to square one again. So I think we need to go back to, all right, let's just go 1 game a week. Just run it like that. I'll be honest. 1 game a week. Maybe the injuries can kind of calm down. New players who get signed in the summer, they get a bit more time in terms of acclimatizing to what Klopp wants the team to do. So yeah, I agree with JJ still.
Fairs. Big up to Max M saying Liverpool playing at home against big teams, cold, garbage. Liverpool when playing small teams after a well put performance, clown, dead, shite. Facts. We're like Robin Hood. We steal from the rich and give to the poor.
Yeah, for real.
We'll take points from like Chelsea and that, and then we'll give them to Leeds. There you go. Handouts, man.
Has it really been 5 games since Liverpool won?
Yeah, in all comps.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Honesty, big up to Honesty saying, man, them opinions on Mane punching Sane because he called him a black shit. do what it is for me. That's just African uncle lingo. He probably said it in French as well. Like that. He said it in French. That touched Mane. He didn't say it in German. He didn't say it in English. He didn't say it in English. He definitely said it in German. Like Mane wasn't here. Like it wasn't like I know some people try to do this like racist narrative and that. He just went and just said it, man. Like in Ghana they'll call you a baboon and that. Like it was just that. And Mane was African uncle. He was just like, look, we're both Senegalese and you've done that. Like I know your dad. Say no more. Punch him up.
Don't you find it so jokes? Mane is out here just causing some type of havoc over on that side of the map. Like I'm just like, and then I see Bear, and this I have to say this, man, because it's pissing me off. I beg you and like Liverpool outlets, all of you out there, I beg, like, stop asking us, do we want to see Sadio Mane back at Liverpool? The answer is no. Like, stop. Like, why do we keep asking this stupid flipping question?
Why don't you want him back, G?
Because he's not offering you anything.
But would you prefer him or Gakpo? Or him or Jota? Like, let's say there was a straight swap.
Bro, you're basically asking me, do I want water or do I want sparkling water? Like, I don't really want either, but at the same time, if I had to choose, I'll go with water. If I had to swap, I would swap him with maybe
Jota.
Yeah.
Jota's in the mud, man. We're trying to offload into Newcastle, it seems like, you know.
But the thing is, I don't want Mane back at all. And like that, it's just the wrong type of message, man. Like when we got Thiago in at the age he was, I feel like he was 30 or 29 or whatever he was when we got Thiago in. Remember, we're getting in a player who's like at that peak of his powers. Obviously, when we signed him, obviously he ain't like that anymore.
Well, he got injured.
Yeah. Obviously, he ended up getting injured, but that's just the Liverpool tap. But when you get someone like a Mane, like you got to realize with these type of brothers, like once they're done, they're just done. Like Mane is never gonna be Mane again. I don't care where the hell he goes. He's gonna have to do a Ronaldo thing. Just go off to Saudi Arabia or wherever it is that he is and just bang ball there kind of thing. Then maybe you might see something. But if you're talking about Mane here at Liverpool, come on, man. Like what are we actually really doing if we try to get him back?
But do you know what it is? Do you know what I would like with him though? But it's because I don't like our forwards. I wouldn't want him back. But if we had better forwards, I wouldn't mind having someone like that. If he comes back and was like, you know what, I want to be on the bench. Like, I just want to be on the bench, earn my P's, and come off the bench. He's someone that in our team, he's proven he's clutch. Like, he can come clutch.
Yeah.
And having a player like that, you know, in games where you've got to come clutch, it's like, you know, when Drogba was old and you started to bring on Drogba, even like Eto'o when he went Chelsea.
Yeah.
But you come on and then you just bag because you can bag. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, if we have better forwards, okay, maybe if we have better forwards, yeah.
Because we ain't got better forwards, I wouldn't want him because we're going to start relying on him, and it's going to be like,
yeah,
you know what?
exactly.
Out of our options, Gakpo's not really cutting it. Maybe Mane, maybe we do a Mane Salah and then play Diaz again, and we try to run it back. Like Bear man, that's 2 years ago now.
It's bro.
Next season will be 2 years ago.
Bro, like I said, man are telling me about Genie Wijnaldum come back to the football club and that, so I know that we're just in the mud.
If Genie comes back, yeah, I'm gonna be happy for him because it's gonna be vindication, yeah. But we are absolutely finished.
Bro, it'll be embarrassing, man. It'll be as embarrassing as signing Milner to an extension. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same.
Yeah. Facts. Anfield Road saying Rice is overpriced because he's English, but he's underrated too because he's English too. Plus Bowen is a good player too, perfect bench player. The person who's overpriced is Bellingham, bro.
For real.
Bellingham ain't worth zilch, bro. I'm not saying you know he's a £40 million player. 40, bro, 40. Easy 40, man. Easy 40. Easy 40 with like 48 with add-ons or something like that, bro. Like that. Crazy.
It's the English tactic, crazy.
Trust me. Gary saying Bowen is a baller. Facts. I think Bowen's good. John saying the club back to Queen's Child Project base level. LOL, trying to convince players again to join in the summer. Right, Queen's Child Project, you know.
That's mad. That's why I had to read that again. I was like, right, that's
Right.
well, but we're back to, you know what, I feel like when I'm looking at Liverpool like as a whole, like forget the team, just as a whole, I feel like we're back in 2000 and just when we signed Salah, I feel like we're there again. And I'm like, okay, let me see who you're signing. But when we signed Salah, I promise you, I did not jump up and say, oh, yo, we signed Salah. I was like, swear you signed this brother. All right, cool. Let me see what he could do. And that's so mad considering how much I like Salah now. But that's the type of players I'm looking at now. And I'm thinking, oh, we're getting this guy. All right. Looks like we're going to be doing a lot of therapy talks next season, boy. I promise.
Trust, man. Scrap saying, can we speak about Darwin still missing all these chances 1-on-1 with a keeper, by the way? Please, like, how long I got to watch this kind of chaos loser that just swings his leg at the ball? Am I
that's Terry. That's Terry. The way the man is pumping away. Hey, guys, remember the way that Jerry... Romz, you're in the chat as well, my guy. These are your people. Back your boy. I'm here. I always have to back Salah when he stinks up the place, bro. Back your boy.
And now, do you know what it is? Darwin don't stink, though. He's been probably our best forward this season.
I hear it. He probably has.
So...
That's your boy, not mine. I'm not even trying to back that guy. Yeah, Scraps, I'm with you. I'm tired of watching this fucking bum continuously like miss chances. I'm bored. Like, it's even boring me cussing you now. I just leave you alone. It's just long now.
8092 Reds TV. Big up to Nick and Luke from that channel.
Big up, guys.
Subscribe. I need to actually get you guys on, man. Big up to yourselves.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, man. Saying Ornstein's comments earlier about us heavily spending. Do we think that will be the case? Rumors around Gravenberch. What do we think? I think we'll spend. Like, I think we'll get multiple players.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be like 80 million, all of them. But it might be 155 plus add-ons, 139 plus add-ons, and a couple 20s, something like that.
That's a couple 20. Yeah, for real.
You know, like, you know, you go JD and you get like your crepes are like a bill. The tracksuit might be like, I mean, nowadays, to be fair, back in the day it weren't like that, but nowadays the tracksuit's more. So,
yeah, for real. Yeah, the tracksuit's way more.
Yeah. The tracksuit might be like 2 bills. Let's say the crepe might be 1 bill, and then you might get like a little T-shirt, the 2 for 20 mix and match type.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's your fit back in the day when you used to go to school.
No, it's true. And then, to be fair, then you got an outfit, so slightly kind of good in that sense, really.
And that's what I'm saying. And then you might have like £10 left, and you might go and get like a hat, you know, like or some socks or something. Like that's what you used to do with your birthday thing. You come out of that JD bag in it, all stuffed and puffed up.
Nah, everyone's looking at you. Oh, I got a couple stuff from JD, man. Don't even watch that, bro. Don't even watch
that. New school bag as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
New school bag as well. Extension, innit? And then Gravenberch as well. What do you think of Gravenberch, man? I know you do obviously a lot of the talk around him. So you do Academy. Not Academy Radar. Player Watch.
God, Academy Radar. I think. Look, man. I just think Gravenberch is a good. Well, let me take this back. He was a good player at Ajax. I don't know what man's on these days. That's like he reminds me of them brothers who went jail for a year. Man's come out. I don't know what he's on now. That's it. He might still be on the same thing that he was on before jail, which is calm. All right, cool. He was a cool guy. Jail might have changed, man. Might have changed, man, in many different ways. And that's how I look at Gravenberch today. And that's why, again, Liverpool fans, I swear, you lot, sometimes you make it tough. You make it tough for me, you know, because sometimes I'm like, you couldn't have gone from wanting Bellingham, getting mad at FSG for wanting Bellingham. And then when we get to Gravenberch now, and again, I'm not saying Gravenberch is shit, because I think he was a very good player. Come on, bro. Like, we're talking about a guy who isn't kickball in about a year. We already know what Klopp's on. We've got Klopp's injury taxes. So this guy ain't going to be maybe at the level for another like couple of seasons. Do we have a couple of seasons time? If we're getting him plus others, I don't mind. If it turns out that we buy 3 midfielders and he's one of the 3, then I'm like, right, all right. So what are you going to do with Gravenberch? You're going to have to play him. Like, Klopp's going to have to do what he didn't do with Carvalho, which is play man. None of this. Yeah, he's having a stink up, bro. I don't care if he stinks. You just got to play him now because there's no point of signing someone like him because he's clearly a player who is lacking confidence. He ain't really doing nothing. And let's be real. I'm looking at that whole Ajax midfield. Yeah, Frankie De Jong, Gravenberch, Donny van den Beek. Boy, other than De Jong, who ain't really pulling up trees, the rest of them have been stinky. Like they haven't done
the whole team to be
the whole team. The lit, I even think it's not even popping like the way that we spoke about, the way that myself anyway and other people spoke about the lit before. I thought, yo, this guy might be the next one up, like kind of thing in terms of centre back. Bro, the lit, bro, I wouldn't even try even signing for 20 mil. I'd be like, yeah, you can just stay there. Like that team, they were good in an Ajax team that plays football. Now they've all moved to different types of clubs that do different things. Boy, it's just not really looking too gravy. And that's why I'm baffled why his Gravenberch's stocks are still kind of high. I would understand if he had an injury all season. I'll be like, man, I can't do nothing about that. He's not been injured, bro. They just don't deem him good enough to play. It is what it is. He thought he was big enough to get the move. He got the move. So are we going to be the trialist club again with Klopp's record of young players? Yo, that doesn't even sound good to me. I can't even lie. Klopp's record with young players, guys. I beg someone do the research. Tell me the under 21 players that Klopp has successfully put through into the team and who have made it into his team, other than Trent Alexander-Arnold. So let's take Trent. There isn't none, man. There isn't none. Man gonna tell me about Goetze. Yo, now we're going back 10 years of that. It's just silly. So I just think Klopp has a way of dealing with players of a certain profile. Just stick to what you know, big man. Like, stop trying to deviate.
Yeah. Romz saying 30-degree wash. That's in terms of our team. Nah, we need a like 60 or 80, bro. We need to shrink some of these players, bro. We need to destroy them, bro. We need to destroy them. Gakpo saying, Scrap saying, if Gakpo Nunes are for the future, I don't even want to watch their bench material Origi replacements.
Listen, if I say that, everyone's going to say I got an agenda. So, Scrap, I'm just going to keep quiet about
it. Would you take Origi back?
No,
but like, think.
No, man.
Origi, do you think Gakpo's a better alternative than Origi? Be like dead honest. Dead.
Yeah, I think Gakpo is a better alternative because he offers you a bit more than an Origi. Origi was just a brother who, in fairness, just didn't get enough chances. But the thing is, Origi could finish though when he had at times he's a weird brother.
Origi, G. You can swap now. You can make an instant swap. Make it disappear. Make the 80 million disappear. The embarrassment of having him, of that flopping. Just an instant, all right, Origi. Nunes never came and Origi stayed and we had Origi playing.
They're so mad. They're so similar. I'll edge towards... I actually don't have an answer, I actually don't have an answer.
No, you bold it. I thought you were going to say Origi.
The thing is, I was thinking like, if you're saying man can get an Origi in some type of prime Origi or whatever, a guy who's just going to play, like, that's what I'm saying, like, but it's like, I'm trying to think, but I'm thinking of the player. Let's put it this way, Origi's a better finisher than Darwin Núñez. I know that much.
He's a better player. He's a better player in terms of he ain't got the raw abilities of Núñez, but I think his link-up play was better. I think his
yeah.
I think his passing was better. Like,
so what was Klopp trying to do with man? See, this is why Klopp's a bum. So I don't understand what was he trying to do with putting Origi out on the left hand. That's the same thing he's doing with Núñez.
Exactly.
That's mad. Yeah, you see that.
Obviously, down the left, Núñez is obviously so much faster. Like,
yeah, of course. But that's because he's got the raw ability.
Yeah, he's still got raw ability, so that's why he's better on the left. But in terms of like as a striker, like put it this way, who do you think is better? Like, who do you think scores more goals? Let's say they play for a full season.
If they both play the full season and they both got the same amount of chances, yeah?
Same amount of chances, played in the same team with the same players. Same games, everything. I think Origi scores more.
I think Origi would probably score more, I actually generally, and I don't even fucks with Origi at all. I think Origi would bag more because I don't feel like he's a player that required bare chances to score goals. he just didn't get the chance to fucking score the goals. Like he would get like one chance maybe a game. And to be fair, more time he probably even put that away when he comes off the bench. But man's coming on the pitch for like 15, 20 minutes. But you know when it was like he was playing, he was more. The reason I don't like him is because he was so circumstantial. Like he was playing in a period of time when we had obviously Mane, Salah, and Firmino, and it's like the way that Klopp was always using him. I used to always think, bro, there's not even any point of him being here anymore, and it's pissing me off because I'm like, you play the guy for like 10 seconds in games. Or if someone gets injured, you might play. But then even play, bro, man was putting Mane up top and Origi on the left. How does that even make sense, bro? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's techie, bro. It's techie.
We got Marion Southwood saying, "We meet again, G. Big up,
Marion.
What's going on, G? We meet again. What's been going on?
No, when it was in Enz's thing, Marianne was in.
Yeah. Enz's thing. He's probably there with a camera with a gun to G's head.
Hey, big up Marianne, man. Big up Marianne.
Big up.
Love every time.
92 saying Diaz is a game changer. We rarely have any of those players now. When he's doing his thing, he is. Under a Klopp system, no, he's not. When he's told just to express himself, he was devastating. As soon as this season started, and we saw him making those out to in runs, he was making bare runs off the ball. He only turned up when we were losing games.
He reminds you of Mahrez.
What?
He reminds me of what, like, he could be like a Mahrez-esque in terms of got good touch, got good dribbling ability, can take on a player kind of thing. But in terms of, as you said, Mahrez in our system, Mahrez will look shit. I promise you he will look shit. I promise you he will look shit.
I agree. Mark A saying Colwell is the dream left centre back. Colwell baller, man. Obviously, there's talks. Liverpool are apparently interested in picking him up from Chelsea. I know he wants to obviously start and play more games for Chelsea. They signed bare centre backs. They've got bare centre backs at the moment. Brighton can't keep hold of him. So he's looking at United and Liverpool sniffing around. Baller, man. Baller. Onto him. So yeah, I don't know what you think, G, about Colwell, but
no, bro. Listen, like Jerry put me onto him. Started talking about him. I thought, all right, let's check him out. Because I don't trust anyone who's English. I'm just like, I just immediately have this preconception that they're just, they're all right. But when I start watching him, I think it's because he plays for Brighton. And the way, I love the way that Brighton play football. When I'm watching him, he looks comfortable in that back three. Like, he seems to be a guy that, you're talking about left-sided centre-backs? Hey, you know what I mean? He could be one. He could be one still.
English quota and stuff.
English quota, yeah. That was the key for me, is English.
Yeah, makes sense, man. Romz saying Sonny got lip fillers looking like an Insta bad B.
Yo, that's mad.
Right. I am John. A big up to I am John saying, yo, G, if we sell Jota 60 million and get Mane back?
How much is Mane going to cost, though, man? That's what I'm saying. Mane would have to cost me 10 million.
Yeah. How about if he cost 30?
Nah. That's 30 million for Mane. Listen, I don't even. I always had Salah over Mane anyway. But when it comes to Mane, the guy is done now. These AFs, man, when they get to a certain point, they're done. Trust me.
Amen. Cameron Elder saying Nunes, Mount, Rice. I'll be happy. Oh, Matis Nunes. I thought you meant a midfield of Nunes and I'd be happy with that at this moment in time. Matthias Nunes, Mason Mount, and Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Reminds me of us when we signed like Lallana and that. I'm just like,
Lambert, Lallana, like
that summer, that whole summer.
I was excited though. I was excited because
did you see what Lallana and Lambert were doing, bro? Are you crazy?
Arsenal wanted Lallana. Do you remember? And we grabbed him from Arsenal because we got that package deal. We were doing shifty stuff down south, man. Down. Listen,
bro. I know for a fact, Brendan Rodgers only signed Lambert because Lallana said, "I'm only coming if Lambert gets here."
Nah, I disagree, man. I think he signed him because he said, "You know what? You see, if I'm gonna get Lallana, how can I guarantee Lallana bangs? Who did he bang?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I agree.
Like that deal just couldn't work without. You had to bring both of them. And even when he did it, I can't lie. I'll be real. I looked at it and I thought, you know what though? The way these two linked up at Southampton, it's all right. Like if they can link up the same way over here, calm.
Bro, Ricky Lambert was cold. Ricky Lambert
Was Lambert at Bristol Rovers? I feel like he played for them before Southampton. I don't feel like he was there. Like that.
All I'm saying is at Southampton, man was slapping free kicks. Man was slapping pens.
Free kick on point, bro.
Slapping through balls. He was doing what Kane was doing before Kane.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. It was interesting.
He's a good player, man.
When he came to Liverpool, he just couldn't run, bro. He just couldn't run. He just looked.
Bro. But and the thing is, it's like, and this is how you know, yeah, that we only signed Lambert because of Lallana, because it was all about when Lambert came. It was all about it's his boyhood club. He's finally getting to play for Liverpool.
That's a big movie, though. That's a movie.
It's a movie, bro. It was the biggest movie. I was like, rah. Like, and again, them times there, man bought into that boy. Bro, we just came off finishing second in the Premier League. I'm like, rah, all right, cool. What, Lambert, yeah? I don't fucks with him like that, but if he could do what he did at Southampton, we can get popping. Hey, Liverpool, this is why I don't like you anymore, man. You don't just trick him.
You remember we had Barini doing the running that season. We signed Barini that season as well.
Bro, Raheem Sterling was playing up front. The brother couldn't finish to save his life, bro. I felt sorry for him. I felt so sorry for Sterling at them times. I felt sorry. The man, remember he had that bust up.
No, but remember he cut it all off. Remember, I don't know what happened, but it's like he went bin and everything got shaved off, and he just had level one all over playing up front by himself, running around. Like, I was like, yeah, we're done. Man.
It was just a joke because I was like, I've watched Raheem Sterling since QPR. Yeah, I'm now seeing him. Obviously, that season we almost won the league. Blah blah blah. Then I'm seeing in the following season, and you could just tell the way he was playing. I was like, I know you. I feel sorry for you. You're even looking at this team and thinking, you man are shit. Like if I don't leave now, I'm gonna be just wasted. Like he was just lucky Man City came in for him.
The maddest thing as well. You know, like the year we signed that Joe Allen.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the season before.
Yeah.
We wanted Danny Graham as well. You know the striker that they had up front.
So yeah, Brendan Rodgers is on this stuff, bro.
We didn't get Danny Graham because I think Danny Graham was too expensive, so we didn't grab him at the time. Like in terms of he was more expensive than we wanted to pay. We done the same thing the next season, bro. We went and got the midfielder and then said, yeah, but we're gonna get the striker as well. And that one we got because I think he was older and I think the deal was I think we paid like 16 mil. Then we obviously got Balotelli on top of that. You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I was probably more excited them times than I am now, than I have been now. I don't know if it was because I was younger, but I was excited, like Barini, Markovic.
You know why? I think one, obviously, being young obviously helps kind of thing, but I think also listen, they were dead players anyway for Liverpool, but we had there was some type of like, all right, we're gonna get these guys in. Obviously, Brendan Rodgers, he didn't have the pool of like a Jurgen Klopp where he can chat to this guy and that guy. So you knew the type of players that was going to sign. But Balotelli, I didn't mind him. I fully didn't mind Balotelli at the time because I was like, I liked Balotelli. Ricky Lambert, the Lallanas, as you said, we had Barini's, the Markovic. Like when we had all of these players, you were like, all right, cool. You know what I mean, maybe we can try and do something. Now, remember, we've got to the top of the hill now. Now, man's got to the top of that hill and you're telling me to flipping go back down to the bottom and try and rummage through the fucking bins and get whatever it is out of there. Like, come on, man. Like, that's why now we wouldn't even be excited because you'll be like, yeah, this is kind of myth now. I'm not really on getting to the top of the mountain. Thought I was gonna in talks with supposedly Klopp was chatting to Kylian Mbappe, as I've been told by bare people keep telling me about this, but we spoke to Kylian Mbappe, and you've gone from Kylian Mbappe to now man saying, yeah, you know what? Mason Mount, yeah? Conor Gallagher. All right, say no more. Yeah, how times can change, boy. How times can change.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Let's see, it's a couple more as well. We got John saying we got Balotelli instead of Alexis Sanchez. Now Sanchez didn't even want to come touch us, bruv. Sanchez didn't want to touch. He looked.
He saw London. He said, "Nah,
he typed up Merseyside, and he just said, "Yeah, bro." Someone showing me London Eye and Novikov and Hakkasan, and you're showing me what?
I don't know what's in Liverpool, bro. Yeah, man. Let's put it this way. He definitely sat there and said, "I don't know if he's got a wife or Mrs. or whatever." Mrs. definitely said, "Nah, we're not moving it. We're definitely not moving it."
It's like, trust me, it's only until Klopp came, he started winning, that people actually wanted to come here, bro. That's why we had to go and grab players like that. You know, like a Balotelli who's already in Manchester. So that move from Manchester to there isn't that far. Like it's like an hour. Like that's not that deep. But you know, when you're moving from like Spain, Italy, touching Liverpool, it's tough, bruv. If there's nothing for you to bruv, that's why, bruv, come on, Coutinho, no one wanted to grab Coutinho, bruv. No one wanted it.
Yeah, but people talk about like as if Coutinho was some hot commodity. Like
8 mil, that he was just washed, bruv. He was just a washed up youngster. Failed at Inter Milan. And we grabbed him. And he popped off. Sturridge, no one wanted him.
Sturridge was exactly what he came to Liverpool as. Is he was just injury prone, wasn't really bagging goals like that. He only really had one season anyway where he bagged like the bare goals anyway, kind of thing. Sturridge was good though. Like he was a good player, but he was one of them kind of guys. I was always like, oh, we bought Sturridge. Again, I was sitting there like, oh, my man. All right, cool. You know, like these signings, like I can't. You know, I'm trying to think of a signing that Liverpool Fabinho. When Liverpool signed Fabinho, I was like, yo, me and my boy were like, yo, what? You know, just the Champions League win and he signed Fabinho. These times, man, been watching Fabinho since Real Madrid days, and then I see him at Monaco. They win the Ligue A. Mbappe, Bernardo Silva, that team.
We flop in the Champions League, and then snap him up like 2 days later. And I was like,
2 days later. No, I don't think it was even 2 days. Okay, no, maybe it was actually 2 days. Maybe it was 2 days. Because I remember just waking up.
After, it was like we lost, and it was maybe even like the day after.
I feel like it's like a day, and the next day I'm seeing Fabinho. I was like, right. I think he's the only player that we have signed, especially under Jurgen Klopp, that I've actually said, yeah, nah, I fucks with this signing still. Like I can get on board with this type of signing. The rest of them, I've always been like, Alisson, I remember thinking, why the fuck did you buy my man? Then we just practice it.
Twice, bro. I was like,
we practiced it twice.
I didn't even remember him. He didn't make no good
save. Real talk. I was like, Alisson. And then someone was like, oh, he's the Roma keeper. I was like, what, Roma? We just slapped them. Like, we fully slapped. And he was in goal. Nah, I don't even want this keep carries, boy. Because there's no point. They're probably both the same.
Hold on. Just John said Barini was at Rocky Balboa. The only difference was he couldn't back to save his life.
Yeah, it's true, bro.
I remember this. I remember watching those compilations and he was like,
I forgot about that fucking celebration, bro. This guy.
Do you know who else I wanted as well from Bologna? And we never got him. He ended up getting Southampton as well. And I was like, we flopped. Gaston Ramirez.
Oh, Gaston. Yeah. Gaston Ramirez is solid. I thought he was solid, dude.
I wanted it desperately, but it didn't pop off, man. But Jesus, man. Time flies. Quick one before we do the score predictions as well. Who do you think the biggest Leeds' biggest threat is going to be, man? Obviously, Tyler Adams is actually out. So is Stuart Dallas. Stuart Dallas is out as well. But I don't know if you remember, he went into that challenge against United and just ruptured his thigh. Like, he's out, innit? Tyler Adams is out as well, and their centre back Wobar's out as well, I believe. So yeah, but Tyler Adams is obviously the big one.
I think I'll go with Nonto. I'll have to go with Nonto. I think he's such a threat. I know recently he's been a little bit quiet. Leeds have obviously been in bad form, but I always feel like he can always remain an outlet. And I feel like he's actually a player. When I'm watching him this season, I cannot remember what game I watched live with Leeds, and I'm watching him playing. It's like he takes the mantle on. He seems like that type of brother. Like he's on, yo, you know what? I'm just going to put the team on my back. You guys just give me the ball. And why I say it's going to be a tricky game, like if Trent obviously and whatever, is he always is on you though. Like he's just always on to you. Like he's on dribbling at you all the time. He's on it every single day. And rough, short, stocky brother, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get into a argue man, like, kind of thing. Bro, like, so you just got to be kind of careful with someone like him. And I think when I'm looking at the game, he's the one I'm looking at thinking he could terrorize a team on his own, to be honest with you. I feel like he's that dangerous. And he can galvanize. Patrick Bamford coming back in. I know he obviously had a tough time. Bamford's a weird player. Don't give him time because he probably could find the target. Rodrigo, I reckon they'd probably prefer to go with Bamford over Rodrigo if they're both fit.
I think they're getting Rodrigo. I didn't know.
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo's got 11 goals in the Prem this season.
I know, but I'm just thinking, just in particular to this game, I don't see them having unless we play shit, I don't see them having bare chances. would they want those chances to fall to Bamford? You know what? I don't know. I really don't know, bro. I really don't know. But yeah, not for me. What about you? Who would you go for?
Yeah, I was gonna say Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo with 11 goals. I think you know what? Not Rodrigo.
That's the guy's name. I'm trying to remember. Sinisterra. That's it.
Sinisterra. Oh, the Colombian. Yeah, Sinisterra, the Colombian. Hasn't had the greatest start. Rodrigo's got 11 goals. You know what? I'll probably go Harrison though. I think Harrison's always like he's decent, mobile a lot, plays off that left. Yeah, I'd say it's that team. Yeah, apart from that, they ain't really got anyone else. So yeah, we'll have to look at that, man. But score predictions before we head off, man. Chat to me.
3-2 Liverpool. I think Monday night. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna stick my neck out, man. 3-1 Liverpool. I think. Surely can't lose this game, man. Now, 2-1 Leeds, like fuck.
Yeah, the thing is, Marque, it wouldn't surprise me. But if Liverpool go out and lose this game, bro, I don't want anyone to be telling me about Klopp and rebuilds, bro. Like, I don't want to hear it. I actually don't want to hear it. Like, your ammunition is basically Kurdish. I'm talking to you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from anybody talking about FSG and money, and I don't care about all of that. If you can't beat Leeds United with the team that you're probably going to put out, yeah, then you're living a sad life. Trust me.
Oh my god, I just deeped. Salah's only got 13 goals this season.
What, in the Prem?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a sad state. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's just sad times right now, bro.
Miguel Almiron numbers and that. Watkins has got more than him. Only Watkins.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know when it's so weird seeing Salah with all of these man. I'm like, oh right, these are the numbers that you guys get. That's crazy. You might get 13s, and you know, like they're like, yeah, Ollie Watkins having a banging season. I'm like, right, is this what it was like down here in the jungle? Yo, we need to get out of this jungle quick.
We got Mo Khalif saying 3-3. We got John saying 2-1 Leeds. Minerals asking, do you remember Suso? Now, we do remember Suso, man. Check out the video. We actually chat about all of them. We've done the academy flops.
Oh, yeah.
I need to chat to you, G, about one of the academy flops because it's Pete. Well, I'll chat to you.
That's true.
Psychedelic saying, big up, Jerry and G. Are Arsenal going to bottle the league now? City have won their last 10 games in a row. Quick questions. I'm going to say yes. Quick answers. Yeah. Phil Bidwell saying 2-1 Liverpool and Leeds will score first. Facts. And that's the score prediction, man. But yeah, until next time, catch us tomorrow, man. We're going to be obviously doing the reaction for the game. Then a preview earlier. So you've seen obviously our predicted lineup. Let us know in the comments after the video, not in the live stream, but after the video, what you think of our predicted lineups, what you think of the game as well. If you're watching this on the replay, please make sure you're commenting and liking also. Make sure we're sharing to friends and family, and please subscribe if you're new or en route to 2K. So please, we're trying to get there as quick as possible. Hopefully before the season starts, the next season anyway. So please, keep smashing a like. But G, let the people know what's coming up on GTV also, man.
Next week, catch me Jerry James for the match reaction. Wednesday evening, might do a live. Hopefully with Jerry, Romz, Ish, whoever's around, really. Just talking about Liverpool and talking about Gini Wijnaldum, actually, and the type of midfielder that Liverpool are missing. So it'll be a good chat. So it's already scheduled on there. So, guys, once you finish this, head over to GTV. It should be up there already. But yeah, catch me, Jerry James, man. We'll see what we've got cooking this week still.
There we go, man. There we go. But look, big up to everyone, obviously, that's tuned in. Until tomorrow, people, it's been the Jerry James Show, and we're out, people. Have a good night.